Swiggity swag, what's in the bag? Jay here, and I'm bringing you guys another X and Y Wi-Fi battle, and this is another battle that I had on my stream, or one of my streams that I did like a week or two ago, and this is up against Zarek. But go ahead and smash that like button. That just does help support the channel, support the video, and it makes me a very happy guy. Also, go ahead and answer the question of the day that is on the layout. But let's go ahead and look at their team. Looking at their team, to be honest, to be completely and totally honest with you, my Sylveon bodies a good chunk of their team, and it's kind of bad to say that, but Conkeldurr gets bodied, Garchomp gets bodied, Medicham gets bodied, and the T-Tar get bodied. So they all get bodied by Sylveon. Luckily for them, they have a Rotom and a Skarmory, which both kind of sort of wall my Sylveon. So basically kill them two first, and then Sylveon can just stay in and sweep, to be honest. I mean of course I'm not going to keep Sylveon in on like a bunch of these threats. I mean, I probably wouldn't keep it in on a, I don't know, actually I probably would keep it on all of them to be honest, because I mean Pixelate Hyper Voice kills the Medicham, the Tyranitar, the Garchomp, and the Conkeldurr. Now, of course, because they're running Medicham, it's obvious that the Mega is Medicham, but you know, they could be one of those people that run just regular Medicham, and they could have like Mega T-Tar or Mega Garchomp or something like that. I don't know, I don't know. I mean, people are different, but let's go ahead and jump into this battle. By the way, this is an OU match if you couldn't tell already, because, you know, I mean, we're running like stupidly OU Pokemon, of course. Anyway, so I go ahead and lead off my Smeargle because I want to set up hazards and I want to put something to sleep. So they lead off with a Skarm. I'm gonna go ahead, or he leads off with a Skarm. I don't know, people always question why I say the word they instead of like he or she, but it's like sometimes you can't really tell the gender of someone just by looking at their sprite. But I'm pretty sure this was a dude, I don't know, but it's just something that I've just adapted over time, because it's like you never know the gender, and you know, some of these guys be having these girl sprites, and it's just, I'm just like, okay, thank you. But anyway, I go ahead and put the Smeargle to sleep. They send out the Medicham. I go for the Sticky Web. They go ahead and Mega Evolve, and I know, like, I'm just like, okay, you can go ahead and Mega Evolve. I have the Focus Sash, so if they go for an attacking move, I can live one hit and then just go for the Parting Shot. So they do just that. They go for the high jump kick. I live it. I hold on with my Focus Sash. I go for the Parting Shot to get the physical attack drop. Not really so much a special attack drop, because I don't care, you know, who runs a special Medicham anyway, because special Medicham is not good. But yeah, now I go into my Sylveon, because I'm like, okay, you're at -1, even with pure power. My Sylveon is physically defensive. We can take a hit, no problem. So they go ahead and they switch out because they know they can't do anything, and they go straight into their Skarmory. I go for this Hyper Voice, and even a resisted Hyper Voice does a nice and clean, a good like 30% to this Skarmory, which is great. But because I'm actually afraid of the Skarmory, I'm just going to switch out, go to my Ferrothorn to take whatever the Skarmory wants to do. And at this point, because they're asleep, I know they're going to be asleep for, oh actually never mind, they actually just woke up. That's funny. Anyway, so they go for the Stealth Rocks now, which I wish I went into my Charizard before they did that, but it's whatever. So I go for my Spikes, and I think they go for their Spikes. We're basically just trading off hazards now. I mean, there's really nothing else to do. I go for the Leech Seed because, you know, it's like, if you want to try to stay in and set up hazards on me, be my guest, because I'm just gonna, you know, zap away your HP. And even though I'm still at full HP, they can't, I mean, they really can't do much of anything. I'm in a very, very good position at this point. But they actually end up going for the Whirlwind right now, and I'm like, okay, that's perfectly fine. Switch me into anything, I'm good. And they switch me into my Greninja, which I'm like, I'm good. Now, of course, this Greninja is the one that I bred by hand, and it kind of sucks, to be honest, because I didn't put Surf or Hydro Pump on this one. This was the time where like Scald was like so good, so I just kept Scald on it. I don't know why I don't know. I was so mad at myself for having Scald over like Surf or Hydro Pump, but in this case, it didn't matter because we did end up killing the Skarmory. So that's a dead Skarmory. So that is one of the two Pokemon that needed to go in order for my Sylveon to just come in and just sweep. So they go into the Conkeldurr now, and I'm like, okay, I don't want anything on my team. I don't want my Greninja taking a hit from this Conkeldurr, so I'm gonna go with my Smeargle and let my Smeargle die because I don't need it anymore. See what they want to go for, and then just switch into Sylveon to basically threaten this thing out and switch into their Rotom. And I don't think I have Stealth Rocks up yet, do I? Or no, I don't. I have Sticky Webs up. I don't have Stealth Rocks up. I have Sticky Webs and Spikes because I never got my Rocks up because my Smeargle ended up dying. So I bring in Sylveon. They switch out because they're scared of the Hyper Voice, and they go into the Rotom, which is perfect. Kind of sucks that I didn't have Stealth Rocks up, because if I did, then this Rotom wouldn't have been able to switch in and out freely. But now, because I don't have the Stealth Rocks up, and because Rotom has Levitate, they can switch in and out freely. But they go for the Thunderbolt now, and the Thunderbolt does no damage. And I'm just like, okay, let's just go for the Wish. And then I don't even really need to Protect because I know we can take a hit. So I think what I end up doing this turn, I just go for another Hyper Voice, just because I can. And they go for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm just like, okay, Will-O-Wisp, I'm perfectly fine with that because we have Aromatherapy, not Aromatherapy, we have Heal Bell. Aromatherapy is Florges, or Florges, however you want to say it. Anyway, so they showed me the Citrus Berry, and I'm like, what? Citrus Berry? Man, I was so mad. I was so upset. I saw that Citrus Berry come. Like, this Rotom is going to be impossible to kill because I can't do anything to it with my Sylveon anyway, and I don't want to bring in anyone else to take a hit from it because my Charizard can't take it on, my Greninja can't take it on, nothing on my team can take it on. But they go into their Medicham now, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, why did they go into Medicham? Of all things, to go into, unless if the Medicham carries some sort of like poison type attack, I can understand that. But I mean, I don't know. I was just wondering why they went into their Medicham. So I go for the Protect to scout and see what this Medicham even wanted to do. And they go for the Bullet Punch. I'm like, oh, Bullet Punch. But even a Bullet Punch wouldn't kill Sylveon from the amount of HP we're at because we're a max defense Sylveon. So they go for the Bullet Punch, and I'm like, okay, that's not gonna kill. It's gonna do a nice bit of damage, but it's not gonna kill. And I'm gonna go for the Hyper Voice, and I will kill because it is Hyper Voice. It's a Sylveon. Sylveon doesn't need special attack investments in order to take out a Medicham with the Hyper Voice because it is boosted by Stab and Pixelate. Whew, that was a mouthful. But they bring in the Rotom now, and I'm just looking at this Rotom. I'm like, this Rotom needs to die now because I can't. Like, nothing on my team wants to take this thing on because my Ferrothorn can't take it on, my Greninja can't take it on, like I said before. Charizard gets hit by Stealth Rocks and they won't take a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt at all. So I would have to either come in on a Overheat or something if I want to even have a chance of taking this thing out. And even if I do bring in a Charizard, I'm running a Charizard Y, I think I'm running a Charizard Y. So it wouldn't even make sense for me to bring in a Charizard Y on a Rotom, on a Rotom at all because of Volt Switch. So I just leave in my Sylveon. I'm back up to full HP anyway. So even if this Rotom does hit me with an Overheat, which it does, they did miss the Overheat before, I think. It didn't really matter too much because if they hit the first Overheat, they would have been at -2, and they wouldn't have been able to do any damage to my Sylveon anyway, being at -2. So yeah, I mean, them missing the first Overheat, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it did matter. Maybe the first Overheat would have killed my Sylveon. Maybe it would have. Maybe it would not have. But then I could have just brought in Greninja and went for the Scald anyway because the Rotom had a Citrus Berry, so it wasn't choice. So we know for a fact that Greninja would have outsped, hit the Scald, and possibly killed it unless they're like max special defense or something. And I don't know, and Greninja can't fucking kill a thing. But they go for the Volt Switch now on my Sylveon because they know they can't do anything at -2 or 4, whatever the Rotom was at. I was too busy explaining stuff. So they go into Conkeldurr, and I'm not sure what I go for with my Sylveon. I think I go for the Heal Bell, just to try to get the burn off because I don't want my Sylveon taking residual damage because I'm one of those people, I hate residual damage. So if I have a chance to go for Heal Bell, I'm gonna go for it because I need my Sylveon at I need my Sylveon to be healthy because when it comes to OU, Sylveon is a huge crutch for me. If Sylveon goes down, I just look and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do, that's just me. But I kill off the Conkeldurr with the Hyper Voice, and I'm just like, okay, cool. So the Medicham, the Conkeldurr, and the Skarm are down. So they bring in the Garchomp, and I'm looking at this Garchomp, and I'm like, what's up, Garchomp? How you doing, Garchomp? I don't know what this Garchomp wants to even do at this point, but they go for the Protect, and I'm like, what? I'm like, wait, what? what? And I'm like, okay. And they go for the Iron Head, and I'm like, oh crap, Iron Head, no! I'm like, frick. And they flint, and they get the flinch, and I'm like, are you kidding me? What is this Garchomp holding? What is it holding? So I go for the Protect because I'm like, okay, well, they're gonna go for another Iron Head, so I'm gonna Protect, try to get a little bit of HP back, because I know if that was max damage, we should be able to take one more Iron Head. But now they go for the Protect, and I'm like, what kind of Garchomp are you even running, bro? This Garchomp makes no sense to me. Why do you have Protect on a Garchomp? This is so weird. So I'm like, okay, you can go for another Iron Head. Go ahead. It's not gonna kill. And it kills. And then they get a crit. And I'm like, so you get a flinch, and then you get a crit on my Sylveon. Now my biggest crutch is gone. Now luckily I have Sticky Webs up, so now I can bring in my own Garchomp and basically go for the Dragon Claw and hope to kill this Garchomp. But they go for the Protect, I guess, to scout and see what I want to do, which I kind of wish I went for the Sword Stance right here, but at the same time I was actually very afraid that they was just going to attack me straight up. But I go for the Dragon Claw here, and I don't kill the Garchomp. I'm like, are you kidding me? My Garchomp sucks. I'm like, my Garchomp sucks. It didn't kill it. And then they go for the Outrage, and I'm like, well, we're gonna die, but they're gonna die also, because I mean, at the same time though, I have Rough Skin, so they're gonna die, I'm gonna die, and it's gonna be a double down. And I'm like, come on, like, double Dragon Down. Come on now, double Dragon Down. That's a good title. I might have to do that. Double Dragon Down. But at this point, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go in my Greninja. I can kill anything on their team. They go into the Rotom. I'm just like, well, you might as well go ahead and just stay in, take this Scald, because there's really nothing else that you can really do. I think it's a 3-0. I think at this point it is a 3-0, which, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's like a decent battle. I did lose one of my other battles, OU matches. It was a 3-0, but I got swept by a Sylveon, not Sylveon, Espeon. And I was like, well, dang, whoops. You know, I got swept by an Espeon. So I was like, well, yeah, that battle was that was a fun battle. I think I did save it, but I was like, you know, because I got swept by Espeon in the end, it was just like, you know, no one wants to see like a mini sweep, or they probably do, I don't know. But I ended up taking out the Tyranitar with a Scald, which really surprised me because they had a Sandstorm up, so they had a special defense boost, and I still was able to OHKO it. But that was good game, Zarek. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. A like does help support the video, support the channel, and makes me a very happy guy. Also, be sure to answer the question of the day. And like everyone keeps asking me, when is Pitch Black gonna start? I'm not sure when Pitch Black is gonna start. I'm still waiting on a video, an Egglock video to be made, so then I can give that out to you guys, so you guys can send me the eggs for it. Don't send any eggs now. Don't send eggs now. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace. And if my voice is unsynced from the audio, I apologize.